Today I'm in the Infinity Clinic in central London with Dr. Owen Thomas, and I've decided to have fat dissolving injections, and it's basically for anyone who's got a healthy lifestyle but they've got stubborn areas of fat in their tummy or under their neck, and it can't be any bigger than the palm of your hand. So I've decided to come to the Infinity Clinic because Dr. Owen has been a doctor for 20 years. He's not just a random person who suddenly started doing injectables, which is really important. And also, you do the Desoface and Desobody product. There are different brands you can have, and I decided to go for the Deso product because it has a higher percentage of the actual acid that dissolves the fat, which is called
deoxycholic acid.
Yes, I knew that, it was on the tip of my tongue. And also it has lidocaine, so you get less bruising and swelling and hopefully less pain when they put the needle in. So that's what we're going to do today.
Deoxycholic acid is something that's been around for years. It's a newer generation product, and the Desoface is a slightly higher concentration. We put lidocaine in so it's more comfortable, and quite importantly, it's administered with a cannula, which is a little tube about 4 to 5 centimeters long. So that means there's only one entry point that we can reach a greater area of subcutaneous tissue. In America, they use Kybella, which is used with injections in a grid formation, and the problem with that is that the substance often tracks along the needles, and that can inflame the skin. So with Desoface, we can avoid that by using that one entry point and keeping the product away from that. So it's underneath the skin. It emulsifies the fat cells, so it breaks it down, and then over a period of about 2 to 8 weeks, it starts to be excreted. Main drawbacks are swelling, which affects almost everyone immediately, typically for a few days at least, but can sometimes linger on a little bit longer than that.
I have a lot of viewers who are in America, so they can't actually get the Deso product, or?
I don't think so. I think Kybella is the treatment
right.
They will tend to use there.
Okay.
It's called Velcura in Canada and Kybella in the US.
Right, okay. So this wouldn't be a solution for someone who's obese and wants to lose weight. It's literally just for small areas of fat, isn't it?
Yes, it's for targeted areas. It has been used in people who've got raised BMIs, but the effects of it are usually not so significant. If someone has a raised BMI, probably fat freezing would be a better choice.
And I should just point out, I'm not paid or sponsored. These are my own views, and I have paid for this treatment myself.
So I'm just going to have a very quick look with an ultrasound scan. Just underneath the chin, there's a few little blood vessels that should not really be in the way, but just in case, because everyone's very different. So
do all injectable practitioners, do they use ultrasound or not? Is it just
not with this? They don't mainly, but I try and do ultrasound with most facial injections, particularly dermal fillers. And the reason is that you want to know where the blood vessels are to reduce the risk of injecting into a blood vessel. Yeah. It's all about just making it a bit safer. And also, if you know where the blood vessels are, it sometimes changes the technique that you use. You might go for a cannula over a needle, and you might place it slightly differently, just because even if you're not injecting into the blood vessel, there's still significant bruising and things that can occur. You can also identify fillers and check that it's been placed in the right plane as well. So just mark it out the jawline. Short scratch. So this is just the anaesthetic going in.
Although this cannula looks absolutely massive, and I'm so glad I didn't see it at the time, this wasn't painful or uncomfortable, and it only took 5 minutes.
Okay,
is that it?
That's it, yeah.
Well, that was not painful at all. I could feel the cannula, but it wasn't painful, I've got to say.
Because the cannula is moving in the fatty tissue layer underneath the skin, so there's very few pain receptors there.
Oh, is that why?
It's much more. The components of the fat cells get broken down, and then over the course of several weeks, normally about 2 to 4 weeks, they start getting excreted through the lymphatic system, which is a blind ending tubes that we have all over the body, so down through the neck, and out into the urine.
So this will be a couple of weeks before I notice any difference?
Yes, so probably 2 to 4 weeks we'll probably start to see an improvement, and
Okay.
probably 4 to 8 weeks you'll get to the maximum.
Okay. I asked for extra anaesthetic as lidocaine doesn't have much of an effect on me. It wears off really fast. Is it one vial per area, or does it just depend on how much fat is there?
It just depends how much fat's there. It's normally a vial for the abdomen.
So how much was under my chin? How many?
Half.
Oh, half of it. Okay.
Yeah.
And is this the DesoBody that you're using on my belly?
That's right, yes.
Oh, and with the other one was Desoface, was it under
Yes,
my?
that's right, yeah.
This was uncomfortable, to be honest, and it did sting, and I felt the cannula moving through the tissues, but that may not be the case with you. And also for these fat dissolving injections, there's not that many people that do them, from what I can see.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot, no. You do get beauticians, I think, offering them, unfortunately.
But I think you have to be a nurse, don't you? A nurse, a prescriber to inject certain stuff.
You don't.
Oh, don't you? I thought you did.
No, in the UK, you should have a prescriber to prescribe prescription-only medicines, and technically they should also be supervising you doing the procedure. But you know, for Botox, for example, which is a prescription-only medicine, unfortunately the prescribers don't observe people doing it. And for fillers and probably Desoface and fat dissolving injections, because they're not prescription only, they can be administered by anyone.
Seriously?
Yeah.
This is my tummy 24 hours after the second lot of injections. Most people need a couple of sessions. It was burning like crazy and really uncomfortable as soon as the anaesthetic wore off, but that discomfort subsided after the first week or so. The area under my chin swelled up like a tennis ball and it stayed swollen for around 8 weeks before it went back to normal. It did feel uncomfortable to touch, but not hugely painful during that time. I tried lymphatic drainage massage and I think that did help the inflammation to go down. The area on my back was the least painful to get treated but took the longest to go back to normal. It was swollen, but I only really noticed pain when I was in the gym trying to do certain exercises. The fatty area under my chin, looking from the right hand side, doesn't look that different. However, when you look from the left hand side, there's quite a big improvement. There's much less flabbiness on my back where I had the injections done. I was hoping to lose more fat on my belly. There is definitely an improvement, but I can still feel fat there, but it definitely feels less flabby. So should you have this done yourself? There's a few things you need to consider. First of all, you need to be very honest with yourself regarding the size of the fat you want to treat. If it's bigger than the palm of your hand, this will be a waste of money. So the fat on my belly was much bigger than the palm of my hand, and I think the doctor was being very diplomatic when he did it. I think if you've got a large area of fat, you can try fat freezing, you can try exercise and diet to get better results, because you may be a little bit disappointed. If it is just a small area of fat in an area, for example, under here, which doesn't respond very well to normal exercise and diet, then you could try this, but you have to set your expectations. You may not lose every single bit of fat in that area, and remember, you will probably need at least 2 sessions. You need 7 weeks between each session, so you're looking at least 14 weeks, and this is expensive. This is going to be between 300 and 400 pounds per session. You're looking at over £1,000. So the time this takes and the expense, you could think about joining a gym for 14 weeks. And if you went twice a week to the gym, you may end up, losing more weight all over your body. The other thing, if you're planning on doing this for your wedding day or some really important event, you need to allow enough time for the swelling to go down and the redness. So I would say a month and a half. And finally, I would say this is not a treatment you can pop in and have done in your lunch break and not have any downtime or swelling. You will have redness and swelling and possibly some pain for a good few weeks afterwards. So if you don't like needles, if you don't like the thought of, you know, having redness on your skin, then this is not for you. If you've enjoyed this video, and it has taken a lot of editing putting this together, please give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. If there's anything you'd like me to cover in a future video, please comment below. But most of all, if you've had fat dissolving injections done, I'd really like to know, did it work for you? How much fat did you actually lose, and were you happy with the results? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.